for joining us again for another Broadfield Liquid Lunch. You'll see on set with me this week is George Clippo from LiveU.
Hey, Jim.
George, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's start with that. We'll introduce that in just a moment. Before we get too into it, I do want to tell our audience that we also have another special guest from LiveU that will be joining us in just a moment, but we'll get into more details as the show goes on. While we're giving our dealers an opportunity to join in, what I have today is a mountain ale from Shed Brewery in Vermont. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's
really
good,
nice. Right? Yeah,
it's got a really nice dark brown color. It's a little bitter, but actually drinks very smooth for the brown ale that it is. Not the typical IPA that I'm used to. It doesn't have that citrusy kick, but it has a really almost like an English type flavor, like an English beer.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, no, very good stuff. Highly recommended. Again, Mountain Ale from Shed Brewery up in the New England area out of Vermont. Now, you guys are based out of New Jersey, right?
We are, not Vermont, but New Jersey.
Not
They
Vermont,
got some
but New
good,
Jersey, New England area. You got a lot of good breweries up there, too.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and between the Broadfield offices here in Long Island and heading out to LiveU, I'm sure we could pass a couple of good stuff along the way. So without further ado, let's get into the show. One of the reasons I wanted to invite George to join us on today's show is because we have some exciting new opportunities that we really want to reinforce and go over. We had you on not too long ago with Dan introducing the LiveU Solo Connect bundles.
Correct.
We want to update our dealers again on those bundles and also really reinforce some of the great sales opportunities that we have available today. So not only are we talking about the Solo Connect bundles, we're going to get into some workflow opportunities and some unique things that you and your team have brought to our attention. And then we also want to talk about some of the different timely opportunities right now, which would be the PEG and EDU markets.
Yeah, we've really we've done a lot with creating some bundles for EDU and for PEG for sure. LiveU Sports this year for us is a really huge focus, and really there's some wonderful opportunities for Solo as well as some of the other products that are going to be out there and available for your reseller channel to sell into. We've got NAB 2020 coming with a lot of really cool products out there, and so there's a lot to talk about, some new things, and again with the Solo Connect bundles doing really, really well, I think we want to impart to your channel partners and resellers about some of the new things that are happening, and also we've got our special guest coming on in just a few minutes to talk about what's out there for them that they can maybe use on their websites and to help them sell.
Let's get started with that. I mean, because that's really where the great opportunity is right now, is with the LiveU Solo and the Solo Connect bundles. And again, what we always start with is in talking about these bundles, they start with the LiveU Solo.
Yeah, it's all about the hardware, the encoder, right? The
Exactly.
baseline encoder, right? You have two options, really, and the first and foremost is the Solo HDMI. The most affordable option that we have starts at $995, right?
Yep.
HDMI input has all the same features as the other model, which we call the LiveU Solo, and the main difference between the two is really just the input, right?
Yes.
HDMI, only one input, the HDMI input only,
Yep.
and the other is the HDMI with the SDI input for higher and more professional cameras.
Perfect. And I'm glad you said that too, because one of the questions we get all the time is the LiveU Solo, why is it not called the Solo SDI? Right. It's important to note that the LiveU Solo includes both the SDI and HDMI capability. So really what you're getting is not one connection instead of the other. You're getting the ultimate flexibility to use with whatever camera you may need to use for on any given time.
That's exactly right. You get both, and a lot of people want that, and frankly, it seems the majority want that because you may start off with an HDMI camera, but eventually move up to something more professional and in grade of a camera in the future.
Absolutely. You know, for our dealers who are selling into like the Sling Studio systems, where you know that switcher only has an HDMI output, and we'll talk about some of the bundle opportunities there a little bit later on. Yep. The HDMI is all you need.
It's perfect.
But if you're looking to put this into the backpack like it was designed to do, and be able to use it with whatever camera you might have in your hands at any given time, especially if you're talking with customers that might even get involved in rental cameras from time to time,
right.
The LiveU Solo SDI really gives you that flexibility and that capability.
Same thing if you're going out from a switcher as well,
sure.
Right? Usually most switchers will have an SDI output, and you want that type of flexibility for that.
Absolutely. So then with the Solo Connect bundles that we've talked about before, and we really want to refamiliarize you with, you start with the Solo encoder, you add either a 2 modem or a 3 modem starter kit.
Yep, and that's really that's the biggest thing that we didn't have previously last year, for example. It was just It was just the unit.
Yep.
And then you'd have to go out on your own, find the modems, and that was really the biggest struggle that our resellers had, our customers had, and we came up with that solution with the starter pack, as you mentioned. And now being able to get 2 modems or 3 that come with it, it really simplifies the whole process for everybody.
Well, what really simplifies the whole process is not just the starter kit, but the fact that you have the data plans to support those modem packages as well, which brings us to step number 3 here.
That's right.
You know?
As you say, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Get
Absolutely.
the unit, get the starter pack, and now unlimited data plans. And that's the third step, as you mentioned. You get 2 modem, 3 modem data plans,
Yep.
and they're unlimited. That's the key to this.
And one of the things I do want to emphasize here, as a matter of fact, if we could go full screen on that slide, because I don't want to lose that corner image for just a moment, make sure you take advantage of the reseller demo program available. We know from our own experience that your customers who see this in action are going to be much more likely to purchase it because they see how easy it is to use.
Yeah, you're right, 100%, Jim. I mean, the customers that are touching and feeling and using the unit, when you get your demo system in their hands, are more likely to buy, closer to 50-55%, somewhere in that area, than somebody who just reads the literature, doesn't actually get to touch it or feel it or try it out.
Yep.
So if you have your demo system, you get them, your resellers get them at 45% off the list price, which is huge, right? So it's
there's
amazing.
really not much of an investment there at all.
Not at all. And you
I mean, just a couple of sales is going to pay for that demo system.
Yeah, exactly. And,
You know?
and your reseller can turn it every 6 months.
Yep.
So that's another exciting thing. They can turn it 6 months, make additional profit, and then just get another one and keep that process going.
Well, the other great thing that'll pay for that demo system is the fact that with your data plan, your Solar Connect services, we're now offering our resellers a residual income model.
That's exactly right. They get 5% off the end user pricing for the commission payment, right?
Yep.
So they can provide, they get a code when they actually sell the unit.
And we have codes for all of our resellers, by the way. So definitely work with your Broadfield sales team.
Exactly. So when the end user takes the unit and has their Solo Connect modems, they go
Yep.
to this, what we call the Solo portal. That's the name of it, where they can set up and configure and register the unit. When they sign up for the data plan, the unlimited data plan, they'll enter the reseller's code that they got from you
Yep.
into that the sign up page for that data plan. And when they do put in that code, you'll get a 5% residual, if you will,
Yep.
every single month, or quarterly or annually, excuse me.
And the customer
for
gets
the
a
data
5% coupon for using that code.
They do, exactly.
So you've
So-
actually designed it so that they have the incentive to enter that code themselves. And it attaches them to that residual income model that allows the reseller to continue to get those.
That's right. And just so I didn't misspeak, the end user saves 5% off of that unlimited plan right at the store.
Yep.
And then your commission to the reseller gets paid quarterly.
Yep.
So it's a wonderful way that both the end user saves some money and the reseller, you get a residual piece of that.
Yep.
Because that's how we designed the plan for the data plan. So you get paid not only on the hardware, but also on the data plan as well.
Which is great. And it really allows you to take advantage to support your customers as they continue
Absolutely.
to use the LiveU Solo. One of the things that we've done is worked with you alongside to really position how easy it is to sell these kits.
Yep.
If you look at the LiveU Solo, either the HDMI or the LiveU Solo that has both the HDMI and SDI, and you combine that with either the 2 modem starter kit or the 3 modem starter kit, you'll see that you have bundles that start at $14.45. Now, those bundles, you're still going to add the data services and everything else, but it really allows you to clearly present this information to your customers in a consistent way across the entire channel.
Yeah, and that's really important for us, is that we want to make sure that all of your resellers are showing the information in the same way, so that the consumers, when they go to their website, your reseller's website, that they see the model of the unit, the modems that they're getting. And one of the nice things about the 3 modem bundle that we haven't talked about yet is it comes not only with the 2 USB modems, but it also comes with an AT&T Nighthawk modem. And the secret behind that modem, as you may have heard or remember from the last webinar, is that it's not only just a Wi-Fi puck, but it also has an Ethernet connection as well. So
Yep.
it can be connected either by Wi-Fi or via Ethernet. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility if you have that 3 modem bundle as well.
And for our dealers who do want more technical information on these bundles, we will include the link to that previous webinar that we keep alluding to. If you haven't watched that yet, now would be a good time to do so to familiarize yourself more with these bundles.
Absolutely.
Really what we want to get the message across today, though, is how to position these and how to sell these and how to take advantage of all of the resources LiveU offers. we have a very valuable resource that you brought in with you today.
I did.
And that is LiveU's own channel marketing manager, Jennifer Shaw. Come on up. So, George, we'll have you back on the show a little bit later, but we're going to trade you in now, all right?
All
Jen,
right.
let me pour you a drink.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, Jen, one of the big reasons I wanted to have you on the show was really to present to our dealers all of the great stuff that you're working on that we have available for them to use.
Yes, of course.
You know, I know that you have the Facebook group,
Yes.
right? You're very involved in putting a
Yeah,
lot of
so
stuff
we
up
have
there.
our own Facebook group directly for our resellers. It's called US/Canadian Reseller Partners. You're more than welcome to join. It's a great place where we post everything, new updates on our product pages, our new landing pages, the education stuff, the PEG stuff that we're going to go into. And it's just a great place. Everyone's always on social media. That's big for everyone nowadays. So, you know, instead of getting an email, you're
I
getting
gotta
a
tell you what I
notification.
love is all the case studies and stuff that you post there.
Yes.
I mean, you really go out of your way to find the customers that are using the stuff, posting that there, and because it's already on Facebook, it allows our dealers to share that to their audience immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Really cool. So we did talk to George a little bit about the PEG market. I know you just created a brand new landing page for it.
Yes, so we have our new PEG landing page and our new education landing page. So this is a glimpse of it. The link is get.liveu.tv/PEG. We'll put it in the info afterwards. But yeah, this is a great place for you to send your customers. So, you know, they could get some insight on our PEG bundles. All the details of the bundle are in there. And then other customers that are using it, so you could get some insight there.
Awesome. Now, I'll admit, I could be a little bit slow when it comes to acronyms. PEG stands for, I know it's public access stations,
Yeah,
right?
public access and government broadcasting.
Government.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. I know. It's like,
That's a longer one. So
you get so used to abbreviating these things that
Yeah.
sometimes you got to remind yourself what the abbreviation
that's one of
actually
the
came
longer
from.
ones.
EDU, I got though.
Yeah.
EDU is education,
I know.
right? And you guys also created a brand new landing page with EDU,
Yes.
and on that you're highlighting one of your case studies.
Yeah, so at the top there we have Emerson College, and this is a interesting one because we did a story with them and then also followed up with them because they loved it so much and they were having their students use it, and you know it's great for them to be familiar with the gear so they have success when they go into the real world. And we followed up with them. They used the bundle again and got 10 smart app licenses to have 10 of their students actually be able to live stream on the go from their own mobile device.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's great for the budget, for a journalism program with our special pricing and programs for education.
And now their students are using the real tools that are being used in the industry.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is great to see. And I noticed on that landing page you also have a lot of resources available for our dealers' customers who are interested in getting into this. We know that churn cycle on the EDU market could be a little bit longer than most.
Exactly, yeah.
So now everywhere from the initial phone call or sales call to the quote, you have these different guides and curriculums and other resources and stuff all available for our dealers to use.
Yep, exactly.
That's great. And now I noticed that also on these landing pages that you're actually collecting and pre-qualifying some of these leads.
Yes, so there's a form there to pre-qualify these leads, get their specific location, school where they're located, and if it's a high school, college, or if it's specific for a sports department or a journalism program, so we could pre-qualify them.
That's awesome. And then next I want to go into some of the production workflows. Jen, I know that you're working with Greg Kalager, who used to be at Telestream. Now he's with LiveU, and he's really key on putting some of these different case studies together and talking about some of these different production workflows.
Yeah, exactly. So these integrate great with a lot of the products that you guys already use. And like you said, Greg actually just put together this great switcher guide piece that is awesome and goes into depth of all the things on that.
And it's great from a technical standpoint because he has that background.
Yeah, exactly.
I know he's already working with a school that's using some of the LiveU devices, feeding them into an RTMP server. And George could probably even speak to that workflow a little bit more. But he's actually feeding into an RTMP server, and then from there, they're using that to broadcast out, which is an amazing workflow. I think, the Illinois Valley Central School was the
Yeah.
one. So we should see a case study on that one coming out shortly. I assume?
Yeah, that's next.
All right, cool. Awesome. And then, of course, there's the wired remote workflows. And this is really where we've specialized in and we've put together some bundles in the past. And one of the great things that I really want to stress for our dealers is all this great stuff that Jen and your team are putting together. Broadfield is putting together a lot of their stuff as well. And you and I work hand in hand on a regular basis.
Exactly.
So whatever information you have, whatever information we can put together, we can complement all of that together to really create a solid workflow. To let our dealers promote whatever it is they want to promote.
Exactly.
One of the greatest things that we're promoting that we've been really successful with, and I am going to bring George back onto the show now, and that's the LiveU bundle with Sling Studio. Now, Jen, you and I worked a lot last year on putting
Yes.
some of the bundle materials together. George, you could speak to some of the success that this bundle has had.
Yeah, this was one of our favorite bundles that we ever put together with you guys, just because it's in use a lot out there in the field. People love the Sling Studio, and our product really is just a transport for this thing. And
Sure.
I was amazed the first time I saw it. We did a show with them a couple of years back, and we still do a lot of work with these folks. But really what we are is just the transport. We connect to the output of the device, HDMI into our unit, and we can transport the signal out to any CDN of their choice. And it's really an awesome bundle, especially now with the Solo Connect kit
I was
into
just
it.
going to say, we
Really
refreshed
makes
that
sense.
to include the Solo Connect modems.
Yep.
And, you know, our dealers know if they're a TriCaster dealer, if they're a Wirecast Gear dealer, we can create similar type of packages with whatever live production system they're promoting and they're recommending.
Yeah, exactly. And I think going back, when you were looking at some of the slides that Jen helped create with Greg and the stuff that Jen's put together on the marketing side to, deliver to your resellers, all of that, again, is available to them to use anytime. The Solo is a great device that can RTMP into anything, can be used as an output device, not just on the camera, but again, to the Sling Studio or, other devices that you've already shown. I think that's one of the key selling features. Sometimes people get wrapped up and say, oh, hey, it's only the output for a camera, and they forget all these other things, especially like the Sling Studio, and it's just an awesome tool to use. And you guys are cutting this on a TriCaster. That's another one. A lot of people love the Solo for is just a switch output feed with the TriCaster device. So.
And I want to reinforce that any of our dealers who need this information, they can contact me directly, jim@broadfield.com. Jennifer, what's your email address?
JenniferS@liveu.tv.
Oh, that's a real difficult one, too. So between the two of us, we should be able to get you any of those marketing materials that you need. One of the other great marketing programs you guys have recently put together is this upgrade program. George, I'll let you go into detail on this one a little bit.
And this is an interesting one, which is kind of new for the channel or the reseller programs here for Broadfield. It also has for the Solos, right? So we can upgrade Solo customers to the 200 or the 300, and even some of the higher end customers, right? Now, this is being a new program for the Broadfield reseller mix. One of the things that is required for us is really to do what we call deal registration, right?
Yep.
And so that's a new thing. So one of the things that you've got to be aware of is if you encounter opportunities or you find some opportunities that have other products that are outside of the Broadfield price list, if you will. There's this thing called deal registration that all of your sales reps have at Broadfield. So what you need to do is just basically contact your Broadfield sales rep, say that, hey, somebody's contacted you as a LiveU reseller and you have an opportunity on a different product that's not listed in your price book.
Absolutely.
And you go and you fill out this deal registration, and then Scott Sheehan, who's my partner account manager, or myself will work with Broadfield, what we call on a one-off basis, to see if we can get it qualified or if it works or can be qualified for you guys to sell that product. And we've done a couple of these with you guys in the past, and again, it's available to you, but it's more on a one-off basis, and we do it through this product or this form here called deal registration.
And one of the big reasons that we worked to this point to get to the deal registration is the LiveU Solo stuff is the reason I invited Jen on the show, and it's really to make sure that our dealers have the correct listings on their websites and they're promoting stuff. Our goal is not to get an LU600 listed on every website in the world.
Right.
Our goal is to be able to sell an LU600 when that opportunity presents itself, and it's the correct sale for that. And by having this deal registration form and by learning a little bit more about the customer, it allows Broadfield to work with LiveU to make those decisions to make our dealers as successful as possible.
Yeah, your reseller channel has been fantastic for us. I've been here now 4 years with LiveU. We signed you guys right up as soon as I got here, and it's just been a
Best
wonderful
decision you've ever made.
ever. And it's been a wonderful relationship. And Jen has been here now coming on 2 years.
3 years.
3 years. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, time
Yeah.
flies. And she's done a brilliant job here getting things going. And I think the biggest thing for us now is, you keep signing up more and more resellers, and we want those resellers to be promoting LiveU on their webpage in the proper way and listing it under the product listings and using the graphics that Jen has, created.
Exactly, and like Jim said, like we work together on this. We put the materials together, so it's ready to go for you to put on your website and promote these promos or products or whatever it is. So
Absolutely. And that can also start by visiting LiveU at NAB.
Absolutely.
The NAB show is coming up unbelievably fast. And remember, it's starting a day early this year, so it's coming up even sooner, right?
Right.
Are you guys going to be in the South Hall?
We are.
yes,
Okay.
yep,
And you're hosting a happy hour on Monday evening.
yes, we'll come by at 4:30 p.m. The show closes at 6, I believe, that
You're
night.
supposed to catch it.
And we're gonna have like a little basketball court too, so definitely come by, see what we have going on there. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And the basketball isn't just a shtick. LiveU
No.
is really
No.
making a focus into the sports market.
Yes, for
Even
sure.
when we pulled up that EDU case study with Illinois Valley Central Schools, it's on the basketball court that they're using this stuff.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
You know?
and
So,
it's sports focused everywhere from
Yep.
solo all the way to the 600. Every product, every
Absolutely.
vertical you can imagine, whether it's sports sports related and collegiate sports or professional sports, you
Yeah.
name it, right? So,
Yeah.
but we will have a basketball court with.
so listen, our Broadfield dealers, this is what you're going to do. Monday at NAB, you're going to pregame at the LiveU booth at 4:30 p.m. and then join Broadfield for our Broadfield Dealer Appreciation Party, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Foundation Room at Mandalay Bay. If that doesn't make for a fun night at NAB,
It does.
I mean, what more can we do?
Back to back with us.
That's
What's
right.
better?
Absolutely.
come meet Jen, say hi to me, then go over to Jim. I mean, it's a great time.
Absolutely. Thank you both for joining us today.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Before we wrap up, I do have a little bit of housekeeping to go over. Join us every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We got some great specials and news coming up for you. Kicking off the first week of the month, same as we do every single month, March specials, new products, and promotions. We'll talk more about the Solo Connect bundles on that show as we do every single month. It's a great bundle to get out there and to promote. We also will be having a Broadfield spotlight on PTZ cameras. Broadfield has a lot of PTZ cameras available now. We're going to run through the product line and give you all those different choices. If you have any questions on any of these LiveU products, anything that we talked about today, you can reach out to me directly, jim@broadfield.com, or reach out to your Broadfield salesperson at 800-634-5178. Until next week, cheers.
Cheers.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers. So call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.